The theme is the cosmic code, and I call it, in other words, the cosmic algorithm. Out of the ultimate infinitude, which is the absolute, comes a special arrangement of factors, which is to be the principle of design of the forthcoming cosmos. I call this the algorithm, or the code. And upon this fundamental relationship, which is numerical, actually, the great integer gods get together in a certain connection on the very highest levels of cosmos, whatever that is, it's way beyond anything we can know, and they create a divine, purposeful pattern in their relationship. And everything that follows emanatively from them is stamped with that particular relationship, which is the ideal archetypalized order of any being in cosmos and of any being in relation to any other being. So we all contain within us a code which can intuit purpose. And purpose is an arrangement based upon what I would call pure reason. We sometimes call that the buddhi. You know, it's a very high state of mercurial realization. And there comes an intuitive moment in the life when you can begin to apprehend what is the archetype, the purpose at the beginning for any emanation, big or small. You know, whether it's a planet, a galaxy, a super galaxy, a human being, whatever. There's an ideal framework, an ideal relationship which pure reason or intuition can grasp. And our job is to archetypalize our life. Now, this would fit in with the great astrologer Dane Rudhyar, who was always talking about seed, the seed. The archetype is in the seed. We have to become seed men, and every conscious entity has to become a seed being so that it properly reflects in the world of conditioning all that the original archetypal code or purpose or algorithm, so that it reflects exactly what the algorithm states in its relationship. You can take as long as you want to get there, and the ways and means of arriving are many because the principle of free will exists, but in the end, the code, the archetype, the divine design, the purpose has to be realized, and then comes that resonance between the world of becoming and the world of being that says, okay, universe over. This is achieved.
In understanding the cosmic code, in understanding the sacred blueprint of all creation that comes from the thought forms in the mind of God, one very important thing to understand is that in classical spiritual traditions, they would teach their own initiates in the mystery schools about what these patterns were and how to use them for healing or for spiritual purposes. But they would not teach this to the general public in that tradition or that religion. What they would do is they would hide the secret in plain sight, meaning that certain types of images that are given in traditions around the world, whether it's a six-pointed star or an upright cross or a crescent moon or whatever you might find from any tradition around the world, many of these types of symbols are what we might refer to as a packed thought form. A packed thought form is a tremendous amount of information that's held in a packed nucleus. And so many geometric forms, in fact, hold within them tremendous amounts of information about potential applications of that form energetically. And so many of these patterns that you see in spiritual traditions that are made visible to the public are never explained clearly, but the initiates understand the significance and the use of these patterns. For example, in the Jewish Kabbalistic tradition, the form of the original seven-branched candelabra, candlestick, has a pattern in which the first and the seventh stick are connected in a great arc, second and the sixth in a great arc, third and fifth and the fourth stands alone. And within deeper aspects of the Kabbalistic tradition, this is known as the actual geometric archetype of entire sevenfold patterns of time, where the first and the seventh, the beginning and the end of the cycle, have a hidden connection, as do the second and sixth and the third and the fifth. So these types of hidden teachings embedded in the geometry are found in every major tradition.
When are we happy? When are we joyful? It's when our expression achieves the archetypalized state and we are in resonance with the pattern that sent us forth and must be achieved in the conditioning world. And otherwise, we have in musical terms dissonance. Dissonance is pain in music. Of course, you wouldn't want to have music without dissonance, okay? Because pain is good. It makes you appreciate the moments of harmony. But when we're out of touch with our archetypalized pattern, then we experience the pain. And when we come into alignment through humility, through service, through love, love is pure reason, come into alignment with the archetype, then we achieve that moment of blissful harmony which releases us from conditioning. In other words, we can exit the world of becoming and retract ourselves into the world of being and of purpose.
Today we tend to use the term archetypes to refer to these higher patterns that represent particular processes. Now, the term archetype today is really connected to this idea of the thought forms in the mind of God. We have to understand that a true archetype, a true symbol, in the highest sense, is always a thought form in the mind of God in which there is a pattern that is crystallized, that holds within it all the content that is potential within an entire process. And this can be used then to summarize the entire pattern of a person's life, or of an initiatory process, or really of anything in creation. The archetypes are the divine thought forms from the mind of God that create everything that manifests at the lower levels.